Bo Cruz has signed with the Toronto Raptors. Yes, it was confirmed today that Juancho Hernangomez has been brought on a one-year deal. So in today's video, we're going to discuss everything that you need to know about this player and what impact he can have on the Raptors in this upcoming season. Let's get into it. What's going on, NBA and Raptors fans? It's Jacob here back with Amateur Hour Sports for another Toronto Raptors YouTube video. On this channel, I bring you the greatest coverage and analysis on the latest Toronto Raptors news, and I'm going to be doing it all throughout the offseason. So if you like what you see from today's video, then make sure you are subscribed to the channel, and you can help us on our road to 11,000 subscribers. Also, if you find yourself enjoying this video along the way, be sure to drop a like. It really does go a long way to supporting the channel, and let's try to hit 350 likes on today's video. I know that we can do it. And the video in question is all about Bo Cruz, or rather, Juancho Hernangomez, maybe better known at this point for his role in the Netflix movie of the summer, Hustle with Adam Sandler, where, admittedly, it's a great movie, and Juancho Hernangomez did a great performance portraying the character of Bo Cruz here. And it's a fun pickup by the Toronto Raptors, who have brought him on, I would assume, to be a partial guarantee contract here. At the time of recording, I'm working my hardest to get this out as soon as possible for you guys. At the time of recording, we don't have the exact specifications of this contract. I'm going to assume that this is a partial guarantee contract, essentially similar to the one that DJ Wilson signed, similar to the one that Justin Champagnie signed. It's a go and make the roster sort of contract. If you make the roster, then great. You're going to get that money over the course of the season. If you don't make the roster, then it's a partial guarantee. The contract will be nullified, and we can both wipe our hands clean and go our separate ways here. Because even though we can hype up Juancho Hernangomez for his role in that movie over the course of the summer, we need to talk about Juancho, the basketball player, and not Juancho, the actor, because it is not going to be a given that he makes the roster for this upcoming season. As soon as the signing was announced, a lot of guys in the Amateur Sports Discord were kind of saying, well, does this mean this guy doesn't make the roster? Does it mean that this guy won't make the roster? Well, again, it's not a given that Juancho Hernangomez is going to make the roster here. He's bounced around the league. He hasn't really found a home yet. He's looking to find one here in the Toronto Raptors, but it is not guaranteed that this is going to happen. So let's discuss a little bit about the history of Juancho Hernangomez in his NBA career. We'll talk about what's going on with the roster over the course of the summer, and then we'll finish with the impact that he can have on the Raptors over the course of this season. So Hernangomez, he's played 6 years in the NBA, and they've been 6 pretty mediocre seasons. He's about 26, 27 years old, and he's probably best known as far as an NBA player goes. He's best known for being an actor at this point. He's best known in NBA terms as being a guy who's like 6'10" and can shoot the three ball pretty well. Over the course of those 6 seasons in the NBA, where he hasn't gotten the most consistent minutes, he's averaged above 35% shooting from three, and a guy for his height, that's pretty good. Only about 43% shooting from the field, along with, again, in these inconsistent minutes, about 5 points per game and 3 rebounds per game. He is not the sort of light up the gym type of player in any way whatsoever. He's looking to fill a role for a team, and the Raptors maybe see somebody that can do that by signing him. The roster over the course of the summer is very guard heavy. The Raptors are doing a lot to try and find a backup guard for Fred VanVleet. You've got the likes of Delano Banton, you got the likes of Jeff Dowden, Malachi Flynn, Armani Brooks got some minutes at point guard near the end of the season. Last season, a lot of guys in the guard positions vying for positions. Not a ton of guys in the sort of forward, maybe big department, along with Juancho Hernangomez, maybe other than DJ Wilson, because Hernangomez has been brought on as the 20th guy now on the roster for the summer. If you don't know how it works, that is the maximum amount of players that you can have on for the summer. They're going to give him this tryout, see if he can make the team, and the final team for the regular season will consist of 17 players. Those 17 players include 2 two-way players who we now know are going to be Jeff Dowden and Ron Harper Jr. So 15 spots available, and as far as the roster goes, it's likely that there are 3 spots available for the likes of Delano Banton, Justin Champagnie, David Johnson, DJ Wilson, Juancho Hernangomez, and Armani Brooks. You can also possibly slip in Simi Hyluk into the mix if you want to free up just maybe a little bit of an extra roster spot for a player on this team here. It's not a given that he's going to make the roster, even though he's owed $1.9 million for next season, but one of these guys would really have to wow the Raptors front office and the Raptors coaching staff in order to actually make the team here. Again, There are a lot of guards, so maybe the Raptors want to mix things up and bring in Hernangomez. What type of a player is he? Well, you saw from his stats, he's not the most prolific scorer. He's not the most prolific rebounder. Again, his claim to an NBA career in general is the fact that he can shoot the three ball particularly well. As far as his defense goes, he's not the most formidable defender. So as far as the Raptors bringing him on here, as much as it's, the fun sort of pickup here, you're getting Juancho Hernangomez, you're getting Bo Cruz. As far as his talent goes, I think he is definitely going to struggle to get onto this roster. Delano Banton, for me, from a roster standpoint, is an absolute lock here. I don't think he should even be within consideration to cut. There's definitely a lot of upside there. The Raptors are going to want to continue to work with after drafting him 46 overall at the draft last year. I just cannot see a reality where he doesn't make the roster, especially after he was pretty good in Summer League as well. But as far as the other players go, I can definitely see David Johnson getting cut. So that'd be one of the players who doesn't make the roster out of the 20. And there'd be two more. David Johnson did nothing in the G League last year that was particularly impressive and was pretty horrific in Summer League. Can definitely see that guy getting cut. The other two players, as much as it's fun having DJ Wilson, this guy's 26. You've got Justin Champagnie and Armani Brooks who are way, way younger. I can't see DJ Wilson getting a spot over any of the other guys on this list. So DJ Wilson may have to go, and there'd be one player remaining to get cut. And Juancho Hernangomez could really be fighting to stay out of that position here. The Raptors last season really doubled, tripled, and even quintupled down on, is that even a word? On this all-forward type of lineup. The switchability, the defense, the rotation on defense, the ability to play any sort of position on offense, any sort of position on defense. That's the brand of basketball that they play. That coupled along with maybe having some small guards like potentially Fred VanVleet, and when we needed him, Armani Brooks, when we needed him, Malachi Flynn. These sort of players can kind of slip in here. But, the unathletic sort of players like Juancho Hernangomez have not really had any sort of opportunity with this team. The Raptors last season were really lacking in the big department, but there was that big surgence of Precious Achiuwa. Kem Birch gave us solid minutes from time to time. We just drafted Christian Koloko. So bringing on Juancho Hernangomez, who doesn't really bring a lot of the traits that I listed here, seems a little bit weird here. And I said kind of earlier in the week that the 20th guy who's going to be added to the roster probably isn't going to be anybody of particular interest. And maybe that's not quite the case because we've got a movie star coming into the team at this point. But as far as Juancho from an NBA perspective, this isn't really that interesting of a player. He's just going to be somebody else fighting for those roster spots. Justin Champagnie in the G League last season was really, really good and offered the Raptors a lot of good minutes in the regular season. He's an excellent rebounder for his size and was really starting to develop as a three-point shooter in the G League. I really think he should be given another opportunity with the Raptors for next season. I would say that the battle for that spot is going to be kind of between Armani Brooks and Juancho Hernangomez. If the Raptors think they have too many guards, maybe they could pass up on Armani Brooks, but Brooks has proved to be a good shooter. The Raptors don't have a ton of shooting on this team. Maybe they're looking at him. Maybe they're looking at Hernangomez to be that shooter that this team could have. Maybe that's the replacement there. And also you could look at Svi Mykhailiuk. Armani Brooks and Svi Mykhailiuk offer similar roles, but at least Armani Brooks was hitting threes in the NBA last season where Svi Mykhailiuk was super inconsistent, and Armani Brooks was playing much better defense than Mykhailiuk. But Hernangomez could be somebody who comes in and gives you the size along with that shooting, and that could be something of interest to the Raptors. So let's finish on what sort of impact he can have on the team for next season. So I'm going to completely throw away the possibility of him playing in the G League. I think that's something that reasonably could happen, but it's not something I really want to spend any time discussing in this video. If Hernangomez is making the roster, we need to talk about what sort of role he's going to have in the rotation for the Raptors. So I believe it will come down to Hernangomez and Brooks. I think David Johnson's getting cut. As much as I like DJ Wilson, I don't think we need to prioritize giving him any sort of minutes, even though he's the same age as Hernangomez. And the fact that they brought him on maybe indicates that they might have something here with Bo Cruz. So if he makes a roster over Armani Brooks, or maybe Armani Brooks makes it and Svi Mykhailiuk gets cut, the sort of role that he will have is not going to be in the main rotation on the bench. It won't even be in just a rotational player. I think Hernangomez is a player that will be used sporadically if he's on the roster. He's a player that's going to be used like not very often. He's not going to get a ton of minutes with his team, but maybe there are some certain situations where they want to have somebody who can hit that corner three, but they also don't want to sacrifice the height on the court. That could be a lane in where Hernangomez actually finds himself getting some minutes with the team. I think that is a completely reasonable thing to say about the player. He's not the best player out there for sure, but in terms of the bottom end talent on the roster, this is a piece that could definitely provide something to the team. He has something to his game that would suggest he can compete at an NBA level. He's been given a lot of opportunities in the league, 100%. He was actually rather impressive late in the season with the Utah Jazz last year, so maybe there's something there. Maybe there just is something there. I don't think it's going to be much. I don't think he's going to, light the world on fire with the Toronto Raptors, but this is somebody who has a certain skill set, being the shooting and his height. This is a player who has that certain skill set, being the shooting and the height, that could help out this Toronto Raptors team. It's not going to be somebody who's super important to the makeup of the roster if he does get there, but it is somebody that maybe you can use in certain situations where it is going to call for that. As far as the predictions for the roster, if I had to bet on it right now, I would probably bet he doesn't make the roster, but there is a very distinct possibility that he does sneak in. But it's going to be up to him. Kind of like the movie, he's got to earn his spot. He's got to earn that reputation. He's going to be provided with a great opportunity to do so. And hey, with the Raptors development team over the course of a summer, there's always something that can be done to get a player to the next level. Hernangomez had his development kind of stumped. I mean, it hasn't really gone anywhere in his NBA career. Maybe the Raptors can kind of unlock that untapped potential that we saw when he was in his early 20s as this, 6'9", 6'10" guy who can shoot the three ball well. Let's see what the Raptors development team can do with it. It's an exciting player at the very least to have on your roster for the summer. I'm excited for preseason to see what these guys are working on and to see who makes the final cut. So what do you guys make of the Raptors signing Bo Cruz or Juancho Hernangomez? Do you think he is going to make that final roster spot? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, because that is it for me for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please, if you did enjoy, be sure to drop a like. It does go a long way to supporting the channel, helping grow the brand. When you drop a like, it lets YouTube know that people out there with similar interests to you may also enjoy this video. Therefore, it is recommended to more people. And make sure, if you're new to the channel or you just haven't done so yet, that you are subscribed. Help us on a road to 11,000 subscribers. And in return, I'm going to be giving you the greatest coverage and analysis on the latest Toronto Raptors news. Join the Amateur Sports Discord with a link in the description, and I will see you again next time for another video.